Alright guys, so I'm back with another video. So if you purchase the direct download, I'm going to explain to you how this works. When you first buy the product, you'll get access to this partial download, which requires setup. But if you don't want to, if you're okay with waiting, because if I'm asleep or if I'm not at my computer, then I may not know that you've just requested access to the full version on Google Drive. Then I'll do the setup. I'll show you how to do the setup for the partial download for those who don't want to wait. But if you don't mind waiting a little bit, it could be instantaneous. It could take a couple of hours. But you can go to this link right here, and when you go to this link and you log in with an email, it'll give you this right here. It says you need access. What you can do is you can just give me the username or the email or whatever that's associated with the purchase right here in this message, and when I get it, you can request access, and when I get it, then I'll grant you access after I've confirmed you've purchased it. So for those who don't want to wait, the actual setup of this partial download isn't actually that difficult. There are a few steps to it, but I'll just go ahead and go over them. So what you need to do is go into your Epic Games Unreal Engine library and just search for game animation sample, and you should find this game animation sample. If you don't have this, you may need to get it from Fab. But anyway, so once you've done that, you can I'm just going to rename this something else. And I'm going to place it under this folder. So after you've created that project, what you're going to do is you're going to get this, and you're going to go to the folder where you copied that at. You're just going to paste that there and then right click. Well, if you don't have 7-zip, you should be able to just do extract all. It might put it in a subfolder. I use 7-zip, and you could just do extract here. It'll ask you if you want to override these config files. You want to say yes to all. Because the config files in this prevent you from having to manually add the gameplay tag table, but I'll go over that as well. So we'll go ahead and open up this project, and I'll show you the last part of the setup, which isn't difficult. I'll probably eliminate this part of the setup here pretty soon by including the actual skeletal mesh. But currently, you may not have that. So if I haven't updated it yet, by the time you've seen this video, then you'll already have the gameplay tags. So what you're going to do is go into the content characters folder, UEFN, go to meshes, and open up the skeletal mesh. If you already have virtual bones, then all you have to do is go into your world settings. If you don't have world settings over here, like right there or docked, then you can go over to window and go to world settings here, and that'll open it up. And you just want to go to game mode and expand selected game mode, and you want to replace this reference with the one to that character. And you can do that by going into the content drawer, go to DAO, char data, select the character blueprint right here, the CBP, and then go back to your world settings and press the back button. Now it's been replaced. But if I haven't yet added the skeletal mesh, then you may have problems. As you can see here, the hands are floating around. You see? And that's because we haven't set up our virtual bones. I use the virtual bones to drive IK, inverse kinematics. So what we need to do is go back to our character folder, go to UEFN meshes, and open up the skeletal mesh, and right click on the root and add a virtual bone to the root. And that's going to be for the feet, because right now my my leg IK inside of there, I actually have it set up with the virtual bones. That's just a personal preference because, well, I just do it out of habit. For this, it's actually not necessary. If you retarget and you don't want to go back to and reconstrain these IK bones right here to the on each one of the animations, then the virtual bones is a good alternative. But in actuality, I'll probably remove the need for virtual bones on the feet here pretty soon. So you may not have to do that. And the reason why is because these IK bones are already constrained to follow, and so we can use those as a reference rather than virtual bones. But we're just going to point from the foot root virtual bone to each feet, and then we're going to just rename them to foot R and foot L. And then on the hands, we're going to do the same thing. On the hand L, we want it pointing to the hand R. I've gone over how this works in previous videos, but if you're confused, you can go back and watch those other videos. If you have an animation where the weapon bone on the character is actually turning, then it may be the case that you want those virtual bones to be off of those weapon bones instead, since these virtual bones are local to the hand bone. So if I move my hand around, it moves those virtual bones around with it. That's the virtual bone right there. And you'll see that it maintains that offset. So we'll just do one for the other hand. And that's basically it. So now we can go back in here. And you'll notice that the hand stays on the weapon now. All right, that's basically it. That's the setup. And I'll see you later.